All right, everyone, welcome to the Remarketing Podcast. My name is Jerome Lewis. The Remarketing Podcast is a podcast where we talk marketing, tech, business, and leadership. We talk about these things for real estate agents, investors, and business entrepreneurs. All right, the Remarketing Podcast. We have two purposes. Purpose number one, Sherie, to spotlight you, your business, your service, or product in a way that provides value to you, including market exposure and content creation. We know Sherie loves some content creation. Purpose number two, to educate and inform our audience and our listeners. All right, awesome. So today we have Sherie Marie. I'm going to do an introduction for Sherie. Sherie Marie is a business credit expert, right? And correct me, right? I'm saying your name incorrectly. You got Sherie Marie, and we also call you what?
Money Making Marie.
So we got Sherie Marie, aka Money Making Marie. Let's start over. Sherie Marie, aka Money Making Marie, is a business credit expert and professional makeup artist who has worked with some of the biggest names in the industry. Sherie is a self-taught makeup artist. She is known for her ability to create stunning looks that enhance natural beauty. Cherie's passion for helping others shines through her work as a business credit expert. She teaches, understands, and demonstrates the importance of properly structuring your business credit profile because it will make or break your business's fundability with lenders. Sherie takes great pride in helping other business owners achieve their funding goals. Her passion and expertise has helped many businesses secure the funding and financing they need to stabilize success or take their business to the next level. When Cherie's not working, she enjoys spending time with her three children and her friends. She loves vlogging and creating content for social media. Sherie, welcome to the podcast. I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are very welcome. So that was a lovely introduction. That's a professional introduction. How about you give us an introduction yourself? Tell us who Sherie is.
Yes. Oh, wow. Where do I start? So, yes, I'm Sherie Marie, and I recently transitioned over to becoming a business credit coach. But like you stated, I am a pro makeup artist. That's what I'm doing full time. I've been doing makeup since 2016. Um, I love doing makeup. I've been doing makeup many, many, many years. But in the beginning of this year, I caught myself like really depressed, and I caught myself having really bad anxiety because I was losing money. I was getting a lot of clientele, but the cost of makeup is not cheap, and not being able to get the newer things that I needed to create the like trendy looks and not having the products that I needed kind of stressed me out. And I was like, it got to be a better way. So I felt like I wanted to give up. I felt like I wasn't achieving my goals financially because every time I was making money, I was spending money. And I quit my job because I felt like, oh, I want to do this full time and I love doing this. I'll have clients. But because I didn't have any money coming in outside of my clients, I was burning my funds. And so, I wound up investing in a mentor that taught me about business credit, and it literally changed my life. Like, I learned that I didn't have to use my own money. I didn't have good credit, so I couldn't apply for loans. So I was living client to client. Like some people live check to check, I was living client to client. And so when my mentor taught me about business credit and how you could build your business by using other people's money, it changed the game for me. Like I was able to purchase things that I couldn't before. I was able to not burn my funds so fast. And when I learned that, I felt as though other people got to know about this. Other business owner has to know like that you don't have to spend your own money. Like if you have an LLC, there's funding out there available for you. So that's when I decided to become a mentor or a business credit coach myself to help other business owners and let them know that there's funding out there available.
Thank you, Cherie. So, what we're going to talk about today, we're going to learn all about business credit. And more specifically, within that, Cherie is going to teach us how we can structure our business to get appropriate funding, right? So you can not have those struggles and those issues that she talked about, she experienced in her business. Before we go there, though, this is the Remarketing Podcast. A lot of the people that come through are real estate entrepreneurs. So, Cherie, I'm going to put some pressure on you, right? A little bit of pressure. Can you tell them how we met? Do you remember? Tell it how you remember it.
So I met Jerome back in 2019. I joined this app called Meetup app, and so I was a real estate wholesaler. And so I was looking to grow my network. So I was told to download this app. That's where you can find like meetings of people in your field. So I wound up going to, it was a RIA here in Philadelphia. It was the I think it was the real estate. What is the group? I forget what it's
I
called.
can't remember.
The Philadelphia Real Estate group. Don't quote me, but I went to this meetup. They were having like deal night this night, and he was at the front. I met him briefly, but after meeting him that night, I started to go to other events that I found on the Meetup app. Was Cash and Coffee was one of them, and I started to notice that a lot of these meetups I went to, I seen Jerome. So he was a person that connected with everybody in my field. So once I started to go to Cash and Coffee, it was every Saturday at 7 in the morning, bright and early. Um, um, that's when I actually got a chance to really talk to him and engage with him. And we kind of connected there. And he's been someone that has always held me accountable to be the best that I can be. And he's always been about results. And he gets on me all the time about like just being my best self. And I really appreciate Jerome for that. But that's how I met him, through networking.
Awesome. Thank you, Sherie. I appreciate that. And the way I'm going to share my quick story on what I remember kind of meeting you. So you were, I think I remember seeing you like on social media, like doing videos, and we were like part of like this wholesale group, and you were like doing
Mm.
videos at the time. And like video, all I talk about now is like video. But at the time, you were like doing video, and nobody else was doing video, so you kind of gained like this popularity. And then I remember seeing you like you said at some real estate networking event, but it was like I think that group is no longer around. And I was like, I know you. You look familiar. And then we start having a conversation. And then I remember meeting you at some of the other stuff. And the reason why I asked you to kind of do the introduction is because like our audience is generally real estate professionals. And what we're going to learn about today is like, yes, we're real estate agents and we're real estate investors, but we too are business owners. And that's a huge mistake that we make. We think about ourselves as this one individual thing and not as business owners. And that's one of the messages and the missions that I'm on as well. Is like, hey, you're not uh, the business. You have to run what you're running as a business, and having credit, that's one of those things. Having marketing, having a budget, those are the things that you need to establish a successful business. You don't want to just be an agent or just an investor. You want to have a business, right? So with that said, I have a list of questions that I want to ask Sherie, and she's going to tell us everything that she can within our brief time that we have here. So the first question that I have for you, Sherie, and we start off with the business questions, then we ask you some personal stuff, then we go to the closing table. The first question that I have for you, Sherie, I want you to tell us a common myth about your expertise, right? So tell us a common myth about business credit.
Um, a common myth about business credit. I would say people think entrepreneurs feeling that it's not available to them, me included. When I found out about business credit, I was under the impression that business credit was for big companies. I didn't know it was for small business owners. I thought that it was something that I had to be in business for many, many years to obtain. Um, and that's not true. So that's why I feel that that's the biggest myth in this field, is that people thinking that it's not available to them.
Okay, so since that's not a myth, uh, from your perspective, what's like, start telling us like what are some things that we can do so we start to establish business credit and
So
structure it.
this is what I preach all the time. The reason why a lot of businesses don't feel that it's not for them is because they don't have structure. Like they didn't take the time to properly build that structure and that credit profile to be able to get approved for funding. A lot of business owners, they get their LLC and they go straight to the bank for a loan and get denied, or they go straight to a business credit card and get denied, and they automatically feel like I can't get business credit because I keep getting denied. But that's not true. It's because you're not structured correctly. So the more credible you are, the more funds you'll be able to achieve. Like my mentor always says, credibility equals fundability. So if a lender is coming to you and you're asking them for money and they look at your business profile and you're not credible, they're not going to give you their money. Now, what I mean by credible is when a lender looks you up, you have to have your things in order. You have to have your LLC, you have to have your business address, not your home address, an actual business address. You can get them. You can get virtual addresses for this. There's shared offices that you can use. You have to have a business email, not a Gmail, a professional business email. You have to have a professional phone number, not your cell phone number, like a toll-free 800 number. You have to have a website, even if it's just a landing page, something that lenders can go and see, okay, this person, they shouldn't know that you're a small business. When they look you up, they should see that this person is a big business. You have to register yourself with different SEOs like Google, 411, Bing, Yelp, have social media platforms for your business. Basically, the more things that you could become credible when someone looks up your business, the more they'll give you funding. And that's having that structure. So when they look you up, you have to make sure that the address that's on your LLC is the same address that's with the Secretary of State. That's the same address that's on Google when they look you up. All those things have to be seamless because some creditors will deny you if they see mixed match addresses, something that small. So structure is so important when it comes to building business credit way before you can start to apply for these trade lines. Structure is so important.
All right, so I appreciate that, Sherie. And one of the things I'm going to try to do, right? I like to put pressure on people, but you've shared your business credit checklist. So I'm thinking a little bit towards the end, we can like view that checklist, and you can take us through some of those steps, like really briefly, and then tell them how they can get that checklist. Uh, you okay with that?
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right,
it's fine.
perfect. All right, so we'll do that a little bit later. Now, the question that I kind of had for you is, you talked about like structuring, and if if I were to say, Cherie, I need to structure my business, if there are a certain amount of steps, would you be able to quantify that for me? Is it one step, two steps, three steps, four, 7, 21? Is there some kind of number of steps that you need to have success with?
Um, the steps is pretty much just auditing your business.
Okay.
So, and that's what kind of covers that's what covers in the checklist. It's
Okay.
auditing your business. So the checklist gives you a step-by-step guide on how you can audit your business to kind of see where you kind of have made errors.
Okay.
So, like I said, again, making sure that all your documents are filed correctly. That can be step one, but even backtrack it. Before you get your LLC, you
Mhm.
want to make sure that you have your business address, not your home address. You want to make sure that you have your business phone number, your email. All these things have to be done prior, because when you go ahead and file for your LLC, if you used your address to create that LLC, then when you go for getting funding, you're going to have to audit, and you're going to have to go out and you're going to have to submit correction letters to the IRS and the Secretary of State. And no one wants to do that, because I had to do it. And it's not fun, and it's very time consuming, and it'll slow down your process. So I wouldn't say that it's many steps, like
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty much just auditing your business, making sure you have all your ducks in a row. And the checklist does go by that step by step to make sure that you have the correct information for your business.
Okay. Awesome. So is it safe to say the biggest takeaway I have is audit your business?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if I were to audit my business, right, do I need to audit myself, or like, can you help me audit
You
it? Like,
can.
can you talk about that?
So you can audit your business.
I can, and so I want to stop you a little bit, because like this is I like to be professional, right? So I
Mhm,
can go try to do it myself, or I can hire a professional. The bottom
mhm.
line question that I'm asking you is, do you run audits on people's businesses? Can you help with that?
No, so I don't provide that service. I don't provide an audit service, but I can instruct people where they can get that done when they do
Okay.
have consultations with me. Um, I will be providing done for you services, whereas though I can help people build their credit up, but the auditing process will be a part of that service. But I don't have the service right now, but it's definitely coming very soon.
And you know I'm gonna put pressure on you. You know I'm gonna keep
Mm-hmm.
coming. You know
Which,
it. So you
what
said
you
it,
do.
and we have it recorded. So be ready.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move on to the next question. I appreciate you. And you kind of talked about this a little bit earlier when you shared your story in your introduction, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Have you always wanted to be a business credit expert?
I never in a million years thought that I would be a business credit expert. It's not even something I knew about. I didn't even know what I heard of business credit, but I didn't even know it was really a thing for me. So I never seen that in my future. No.
Okay, awesome. So you got business credit, and then you got personal credit, and some people like I just use my personal credit. Like, could you talk about some distinct differences between business credit and personal credit?
Okay, that is a great question because I get this question all the time. Like, why can't I just use my personal credit?
Mhm.
The reason why I talk about using your EIN in place of your social security number, which is your personal credit, is because when
And
you use,
tell us what EIN is, what that is.
so your EIN is pretty much your social for your business.
Okay.
So when you use that number, it builds your credit for your business. It's your identity for your unique business. It is its unique entity. So that's what separates your business from your personal.
Okay.
So if you have good credit, some people feel like I'll just use my personal credit. But the thing about that is having an LLC gives you limited liability. So when using your personal credit to build business, if something happens within that business, your personal credit will receive the hit. And with your business, it's its own entity, so it won't affect your personal credit. And if you have bad credit, when you go ahead and try to apply for lines of business credit, you'll get denied if you're using your social. So if you have good credit, yeah, you could in some instances become a personal guarantor, which is when you do put your social on these business trade line applications and get approved. Only thing is, if you default on that loan, it affects your personal your personal credit score.
All right. And when you say personal guarantor, what does that mean?
Yeah, so basically, like I said, if you use your social on any business loan
Mhm.
application, you're becoming a personal guarantor, which means if you default or if anything goes south within this loan, you as yourself, not the separate entity, which is the LLC, will become liable for those loan payments.
Okay. And let's just let me be a negative Nancy. Like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with me being liable? Could you talk about that?
It'll affect you to get homes. It'll affect you to get
Okay.
any other type of personal credit cards. It would affect you to get any other personal type of car loans. It'll affect you personally. It'll
Okay.
affect your personal assets.
All right. So one of the things in my experience between business credit and personal credit is like the amounts that you can get. Could you help us understand like the difference in the business credit versus the personal credit, like the amounts that you can get approved of and how much money you can use?
Right. So with with business credit, there's separate tiers. Like there's levels to this. So you want to start off with tier one. So tier one is like you can get like net 30 accounts. Net 30 are trade lines where you can purchase things for your business and you have 30 days to pay it off. Right. So by paying these net 30 accounts off, you can wait. So let me backtrack a little bit. These net 30 accounts, they give you credit lines. So they'll give you, say for instance, like Uline, they'll give you a credit line of $5,000. You can use that $5,000 to order things for your business, and you can pay those off. Once you have about 3 to 4 net 30 accounts reporting to your credit bureaus, the business credit bureaus, then you can go ahead and go to tier two. Tier two are store cards like Sam's Club, Costco, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's. You can get gas cards like Shell. You can get Wix gas cards, and it's a bunch of companies under Wex. Those companies will give you credit lines like according to your business structure. Again, it goes all back to your business structure. When you're structured really seamlessly, you get higher approvals. Now, the beauty about these retail cards is when you're paying these cards off for about 2 to 3 months, you can now go to tier 3, which is the cash cards, your Visa, your MasterCard. And the beauty of that is they mimic what the retail cards gave you. So here we are. We're almost at 90 days. You're already about to get credit cards. Whereas though with personal credit, it takes about 6 months for you to get a credit card to build your personal credit. But with business credit, that tier 1 takes about 30 days to get an 80 Paydex score, or to be able to go to tier 2 to get the retail cards. Now you're at tier 2, that's like 60 days. Now here you are, 90 days, you're getting credit cards, you're getting cash cards, and they're mimicking what the store cards gave you.
And
And
you
one more
mentioned,
thing,
okay,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
you mentioned Paydex. What's Paydex?
Yeah, I was going, and when I said that, I was like, maybe I need to break that down, but I'm going to go back to that. But let me just point out one fact about the retail cards. So the thing about any type of line of credit, every 30 days, you can ask for an increase. So if you got approved for, let's just say, $10,000 with Sam's Club, you're paying that off, you can go ahead and ask for an increase. And you want to go ahead and ask for that increase about 2 to 3 times before you go for a cash card. Now that cash card is going to see, wow, this person has $50,000, $60,000 with Sam's Club. I'm going to match that or give her higher.
Okay. Awesome.
Now, you want me to cover what the Paydex score is?
Yeah. Tell us what Paydex is. What that is. Is it a company? Is it some kind of score? What does that mean?
So in the business credit world, you have your Paydex score, which is given to you by Dun & Bradstreet. Dun & Bradstreet is the main credit reporting agency that all the trade lines report to. So having that Paydex score, when you open up your business, you want to get a DUNS number. So not just having your LLC, you want to have that DUNS number, because again, your DUNS number is your identity in the business credit world. So without a DUNS number, you can't even build business credit without that number. So, yeah, so a Paydex score, anything that's 80 and above is considered low risk. So having those net 30 accounts that we talked about before in your tier 1, having those net 30 accounts and paying them off 10 days before they're due will boost and kick off your Paydex score. It could get you a 80 or above Paydex score. You can't move to tier 2 without that Paydex score in most cases, and which is the retail cards. So that Paydex score is very, very, very critical and very important when establishing business credit.
Awesome. So I want to move on to the next question. And the next question, in your expertise, right? So we're talking business credit. What's one thing about, all right, so let me rephrase it. What's one thing about business credit that almost no one agrees with you about?
What's one thing about business credit no one agrees with me about?
Yeah.
Is that it takes 90 days or less to build. A lot of people don't believe that that's true because a lot of us are conditioned to personal credit, which takes a long time, a lot of process. So when you hear someone say you can get business credit, within 90 days or less, people are like, no, that's not true. So that would be the main thing that people don't agree with me, because they haven't tried it. They probably didn't see it done, so they don't think that it's possible. But it's in fact very possible.
I know it's possible. That's why I always encourage people to consult with professionals. Some stuff we can do ourselves, but other things we should consult with professionals. You can't have a business without working with other people, and that includes other professionals. Next question. These are more entrepreneurial, so we want to know how you work and how you operate your business, Sherie. So give me a productivity hack. What's your favorite productivity hack for entrepreneurs? Or maybe you have a business credit hack. Give us some hacks.
Okay. So wait, you want me to do both or you want me to do one? Because you kind of gave me two
Let
good
me.
options
All
right
right. So
there.
let's. Do you have one for business credit? You got a hack?
I do have some hacks for
All right.
business credit.
Give give me one, like give me what you think is like the most important hack for business
Okay,
credit.
I'm glad you said that because I do got one really good one.
Okay.
So when you're first building your business credit, the goal is to get that 80 Paydex score. Like that's like the goal, right? So in order to get that, you want to have about 3 to 4 trade lines reporting. So what a lot of people don't know is like nav.com is like the credit karma of business credit. So nav.com is where you go to track your business credit scores. It kind of looks just like Credit Karma too. It's so crazy. But when you it's a free service, but if you update your service to the nav boost, which is $39 a month, it will also report as a trade line. You can have two of those nav accounts. So basically, you can set up one account and then you can open up a second account using a different email with the same business information. And now you will have two trade lines reporting to the credit bureau. And then all you would have to do is just add maybe 1 or 2 net 30 vendors, and that will boost your score to 80 in like 30 days.
Awesome. I appreciate that. So give us, all right, now give us a productivity hack.
So a productivity hack, this is something that I'm still struggling with myself. So I'm talking to myself when I say this. A productivity hack is there's never enough time in a day. So you
Never,
have to, it's never enough time in a day.
never.
So instead of time management, it's priority management. So you kind of have to put things in perspective to what's the most priority to the least priority. Even though everything is a priority, but you have to
Yes.
be able to determine what is really up here and what I can maybe, if I don't get to it today, I can carry it on to the next day and it could be the top for the next day. So there's never enough time in a day, priority management, and that's like the best thing that I could say
Yeah.
is priority management.
So I couldn't agree more, and you kind of already know how I am. I always no excuses. We all got problems. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time. I got 4 kids, so I want to hear it. 4 kids, 3 businesses. I got a woman, like all this. That is priority. So with that, like, could you give us a tell us what's a priority when it comes to business? Like, give us the top priority for business credit for you. One of the like if I was like, oh, I need to get my business credit like right now, and it doesn't have to be right, but your perspective, what's a top priority that we should be doing to establish business credit?
The top priority to establish your business credit is to do that audit, to
Okay.
make sure that your foundation is strong. If your foundation is not strong, if that credit profile is not built correctly, you're going to have anxiety, you're going to have stress, you're going to have doubt because you're going to keep getting denials. So that's the top thing, making sure that all your ducks are in a line, all your addresses match, everything is seamless before you can even do that first initial application for that any trade line.
Thank you, ma'am. So let's get personal. I got some personal questions for you. First personal question: what do people misunderstand about you most?
People don't understand that I am a serial mompreneur. Like people don't understand that. Like they always see me and they go, "You're doing something else again." Like, wasn't you just doing makeup? Wasn't you just a wholesaler? And they don't understand that this is what I do. One stream of income is not going to cut it anymore. It's just not. So people have to understand that people like to put you in a box that's comfortable for them. So if they are comfortable with you being a makeup artist, they want to keep you there. So they don't want to see you doing something else. So I like to let people know that it's okay to do multiple things as long as they're all succeeding. Like, don't just be juggling multiple things and you ain't doing it correctly. But yes, I'm a serial mompreneur, and I don't think people understand that about me, and they don't understand that, and that's why I wanted to put that out there.
Awesome. So tell me what a mompreneur is.
It's a mom entrepreneur,
Okay.
someone who is a mom full time, because that's a job. Being a mom is
Yes,
a
it
job,
is.
and
And I'm gonna say that's the most important job. That's one of the most important jobs. I like to go off the rail and talk about family, and but people don't. Being a mother is highly important. That is
yes,
important. Our kids need both parents, but that mom
yes,
job is super
yes.
important.
Yes, like I always tell people like I'm a mom before anything. I'm a mom before an entrepreneur. I'm a mom first. But a mompreneur is someone that is well, a mother that is a mom that juggles that mom lifestyle, but also runs a business or multiple businesses.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, ma'am. So uh, that's enough for the personal questions. Let's get to bonus questions, right? So I got some bonus questions and I'm putting some extra ones in here. So, what is the biggest challenge you are currently facing in your business?
What am I facing right now in business? Well, let me just can I give you something that I was facing that I had to
No.
kind of fix a little bit?
Uh
Okay.
no. Yeah. What is it right now? Like as an example, me right now, the biggest struggle I'm facing is like I got this newsletter that got off track and I'm working on getting it back on track. And like if you're in business, like you said, like as an entrepreneur, you always like it never stops. It's never going to be
Yeah.
enough time. So there's always something. And just because you have some obstacle doesn't mean, So what's
All right.
what's like the biggest thing you're facing right now? Like what's the priority? Like I need to get this knocked out.
Okay. So I would say that is stop overthinking. Don't smile. Don't you smile. Okay, he's smiling like that, guys, because he knows me. He knows that I'm always in my head. And
And feeling
even though that
sometimes. Yeah.
even though that's a personal issue, it drips down into my business. And I personally overthink and overanalyze literally everything. And so when it comes to the business, it's affecting that as well. So instead of execution, I'll be stuck on overthinking something that should have been executed and I could have got ahead. So that's something that I'm like struggling with right now, is to get out of my own way, get out of my head, and stop overthinking things and execute, and stop being afraid of failure,
Mhm.
because you have to fail forward. And so I'm learning that I'm not always going to be motivated, but I have to be disciplined. And the more I force myself to be disciplined, it's been helping me with the overthinking.
Thank you.
So
And
that's
so the reason why we add that question in is because I generally try to figure out a way that anybody that comes on, I can help. And but I kind of already think I'm like helping you with that. Like,
you
I'm
are
like, look, don't overthink it, just do it, get it done. So I can't, but
at night, but it's
yeah,
like, no, I'm
yes, I
just
get out of it. So the next question, I added these in, so they're kind of to stomp you, but it's to help you too. So how can someone add immediate value to your business?
how can someone add value to my
Immediate
business?
value, like short term, like right now, like what's one thing that would really like, oh, that's great. As an example, if you want to add immediate value to me, a couple of examples. So one is be like, come on our show, be a podcast guest. Another is buy a book, or that's like short term value. So
Hmm. Can I do two?
um,
Maybe.
maybe.
Okay. So I'll do one.
Mhm.
What a person can add value
Immediate
by
value.
immediate value, which would be downloading that credit building checklist.
Okay.
Downloading that checklist will it it helps the person, and it also helps me, because the information in the free checklist is a lot of information. And once somebody get that information, I'm sure that they probably will refer someone to me. So by me giving that to someone else, I feel like it'll help me, because they're going to refer me to someone else that I can help. And I feel like that will help me a lot.
Okay, so I talked about we were going to try to go over this checklist. Let's see what we can do.
Hmm.
So um, I want you to. So we got like 8 pages. This is your checklist, and we're bringing it right. We built the plane on the way down, whatever they say. So it is what it is. If we mess up, who cares? Take us through really quickly these 8. Like, do you want me to show them this checklist? Tell me what to do.
Yeah, you
You
can.
lead me
You
for
can. You can
what I
show.
do.
You can show.
Okay. All right. So page one, build your business credit checklist. I don't even know what we're doing. Are we showing them the checklist? Are we going through the steps? How do you want to handle this?
You can just whatever you feel
Scroll.
is free for you. Yep, you can
Okay.
just scroll on through.
So I'll scroll through business credit checklist. business credit. I'll just do a quick demo, right? I'll show them some of it, and if they want to get the checklist, how do they get this checklist, Sherie?
So they can click the link in my bio on my
Okay.
Instagram, my Facebook, and my LinkedIn, and it will be the first option on the link in my bio for them to
Okay.
be able to go ahead and download their free checklist.
And what's your Instagram? Give us the title, the tag.
Yeah. So it's Money Making Marie
Okay.
with two E's at the end, and that's across the board for
Okay.
Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram.
All right. So can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your
All right. So you
screen.
see my profile. If I know we're on the desktop, but you can see it. So if I visit Money Making Marie, I come to what here, this link.
Yes,
I'm gonna click on that link, and there it goes right there. Big as day. Get the free money, free business building checklist. This is how I get that checklist.
yes,
Okay, awesome, awesome. So I think that's good enough. If they want the full scope of the demo, they can go and of the checklist, they can go and download
yes.
it.
A
Fair
lot
enough.
of information in there. Yes.
Okay, so let's get back to the questions. So the reason why I was like maybe on the value add question, like short term value, because the next question is how can someone bring long term value to your business? So long term value for me, as an example, would be, hey, refer me a client that's going to be on for a year or a couple of months. So what's a way that someone can bring you long term value to your business?
These are questions I don't think I've ever thought about.
Yeah,
And
you
I'm
gotta.
glad that you
That's the
asked
point.
me because I'm like, I was killing it. And now I'm
Yeah, you got to
like what?
think.
I don't what can someone bring me long-term value? I mean, I would definitely say it would be referrals for me too. I feel like in any
Okay.
business, referrals, like I'm all about like, what can I do for you? What can you do for me? So it's like if someone can refer people to me, I
Okay.
feel like that keeps my business growing, and I will hope it's something that I can in return give to that person. So I would definitely feel that, hey, like if you know a business owner or if you know any entrepreneurs that is struggling in their business, financially, send them my way. And that will help me long term because it keeps my business running as well.
Okay. And so I'll talk to you about this in more detail, but I need some content from you for our newsletter. So we'll talk about that in the future. Next,
Okay.
we are going to go to the closing table. These are the final questions that I like to ask our guests. And I say closing table because we're in real estate and we all know what that is as real estate entrepreneurs. So, closing table questions. What are three books you recommend to the audience and why?
Three books that I would recommend.
Mhm.
The first book, first and foremost, hands down, this is the book that changed my mindset. This is the book that got me to wholesaling, to
Mhm.
getting into the real estate field, was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That is the book that did it for me. I had a closed mindset before reading that book, and after reading that book, it just opened up a whole new world for me that I didn't even know existed, and it made me look at life differently. And I seen how many options there were out there just with real estate alone. So that would be the first book that I would definitely
Did you see my pictures with him?
I did, and I was so hyped. I felt like a fan when I seen it. I was like, "Oh snap!"
Yeah, it was
That was
pretty
dope.
fun. I got
That was
him like
dope.
he just released this book and he
Hmm.
signed it and everything like that. So it was a good time. And like I
That's
always
it.
same
You're
same
too
way I
humble.
always jump
I
on
mean,
you
like,
about accountability. I have accountability partners and stuff like that too. And I,
hmm
I wasn't really going to go, but thank God for other people like holding me accountable. So I did go and it was worth it. I'm putting it in the newsletter. I'm like basically I spent like $3,000 just to go take pictures and hang out with
but
this
that's an
guy. But
investment, though.
it
It's
was
an
right,
investment.
exactly. It was an investment and it was well worth it. So you said
Yeah.
Rich Dad Poor Dad, Kiyosaki.
Yes.
Awesome.
And the second book, I forget the name of the author. I'm so mad right now that I forgot, but it's called Atomic Habits.
Okay.
And that book helped me because us as entrepreneurs, we focus so much on the goal and the progress and the results, but we don't spend time on the habits, the little things
Mhm.
that we need to put in place to get to those goals. Just small little habits that we can change in our everyday that can push us closer to our goals. And that book really like went into detail of the importance of habits. And after reading that book, I didn't even realize that I had so many habits that was keeping me away from my goals because I was so focused on the goal and
Mhm.
not the habits. So that book right there is definitely another type of mindset shift, because if you don't, you have to change this first. Like if you don't change your mindset and how you look at things and how you understand things, then you're never going to make it in anything that you put your, that you want to do. So that Robert Kiyosaki book helped my mindset. The Atomic Habit helped my mindset. And there was one more book also. It was called The Big Leap. And
Do
again,
you know the author for that one? Don't
I don't
remember?
remember.
Okay,
I don't remember the author because I listen to audibles. So
Mhm.
like 9 times out of 10, I don't really see the author. So I'm
Got
just
you.
listening to the book. But yeah, so I suck at that, you guys. But if you guys can go ahead and Google it or look it up, it's called The Big Leap. And it basically talks about like taking risks. Like, a lot of wealthy stay wealthy because they take risks, and scared money don't make money. And a lot of times we are so comfortable in our comfort zone and there's no growth there. Like you can't grow when you're comfortable. So it's like that book talks about like when you feel that fear that you're afraid of that unknown, or you're afraid of that failure, you take that leap. And a lot of things that we want in life or even as entrepreneurs is on the other side of fear. And that book really goes in about that, and it will really help a lot of people with their procrastination. What is that term called?
Analysis
Oh,
paralysis.
there we go. Analysis. I knew you knew. Analysis paralysis. Like that book really will help you with that, because a lot of us do all this studying and we do all this reading and watch all these YouTubes and never jump. So we got
Yeah,
all this information, no action. So
no
those are the
action.
three books that I
And
would definitely
I'm big on action, and even
action and results.
Sherie, that's right. I put pressure. I'm like, come on, girl, let's go. We gotta do this podcast. Let's go. Let's do it. And
Yes.
you're here. You took the leap. It took a little bit of me beating you up, but you took the leap. And I
I
just
didn't
want to
got beat
say,
up,
I
y'all.
want to let you know that I appreciate you and I admire you for taking it, even though you can be resistant sometimes. You do move. So those were three books. The next question: where can listeners find out more about you online?
Yeah, so again, right now I have my social platforms, Money Making Marie on Instagram, Money Making Marie on LinkedIn, Money Making Marie on Facebook, and also on YouTube. It's not live, but you can go there and subscribe. There will be content coming there soon. So Money Making Marie with two E's at the end on all platforms.
Awesome. And could you leave us with a final statement about business credit?
Final statement for business credit. Stop using your own funds to grow and run your business, and start using other people's money. And not just using other people's money, but using that to leverage. Like business credit is not just for your actual business that you're running right now. You can take the business credit that you're getting from this business and you can start a new business, something that may create passive income. So don't just think business credit is for the business you have right now. You can leverage it to make more money passively. You want to invest in businesses that you can make money in your sleep. So
Thank
yes, stop using your own money and use other people's money.
Thank you, ma'am. So I'm going to do this live. Was it scary?
It wasn't scary, but I was nervous because I'm always nervous.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sweating.
Yeah. See,
Sweat
there
a
she
little
go,
bit.
y'all. In her head, she did excellent. She's still talking about she nervous.
I'm
Uh,
always nervous. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
But the
I'm
biggest
always nervous.
extrovert I know, always nervous. Sherie,
Always.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being a guest on our podcast. And you will be coming back because I'm going to force you to come back and
Yes.
talk about some other subjects and more stuff. So thank you so much, Sherie.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me end this. Stay on. I need to talk to you.
Oh,